Helseth, if you don't know shit about World Tournament Series, I'm gonna talk to you right now, and I'm gonna tell you like why this is the best fucking tournament ever happening so far. Like, to do this, we have to investigate like why all the teams are interesting to watch going into this shit, and compare it to other previous World Tournament Series. For example, a lot of people really enjoy the Boston set of World Tournament Series. Like, let me shut the fuck up for Skype. Shut up, Skype. Now, let's think about World Tournament Series for a second. Now, let's first investigate the previous tournament that happened, the previous LANs. The first one was, of course, Gamescom, where Team Mist was playing for Europe. That's TCG, basically. It was literally TCG. We were sponsored by Blue. Literally, it was sponsored by Blue. Fucking god! All right, well, let's look at it in another way. Like we had a caster sucking up for us, right? And that was good. That was good. That's you know TCG, not Team Mist. TCG was in World Tournament Series Europe, right? Fucking Blue. All right. So TCG was versus some random compilation of NA players, and of course we destroyed the first LAN. The first LAN was essentially not a LAN; it was just a showcase of why TCG is the best, right? And just destroy them. Now, the first major LAN that actually counts in my eyes was the World Tournament Series China. The problem with this was twofold. First, there was 2 Chinese teams, and China at the time was extremely weak. Simply put, they didn't have a lot of time in the game at all, right? Like the time the NA players had, China players had was like maybe a fifth of what Europeans and NA players had. So of course they didn't stand a chance. And there were 2 of those teams. 2 teams that were basically just 3 wins looking into the finals. We then had... I'm going to stop queuing until I'm done with talking about this. Yeah, look at that. I fucking predicted that shit. And then we had Absurd. Though it wasn't the strongest Absurd. They had Ostrihix, and they wanted to play with Nas, but he couldn't because I don't even know. It was on personal reasons. So they played with Ostrihix. A lot of people thought they were like kicking Ostrihix, but Nas was the main member, right? Like Nas was supposed to play with them. Anyway, so we had Absurd versus TCG, essentially, right? The problem that happened for this tournament was there were technical difficulties. Obvious one. See, a lot of you noobs probably didn't notice it, but any single veteran in the game noticed that people were like rubber banding back and forth, and the lag made those finals really spoiled. They were still fun to watch. I noticed. I watched them back, and I mean, I cussed Sizer's name a lot while I was watching them and all that stuff, and they were fun to watch. But the problem is simply like the result, the proper LAN, it was diminished a lot by the fact that you had lag, right? Like genuine serious lag spikes. Then we have World Tournament Series Boston, and this one was far better in the tournament. Like it had more competitive matches. It had a great final where Absurd consistently showed their exceptional ability to win a game and then throw it when it actually matters. Shout out to beating like random NA players in Go Force and then losing when it actually matters when you have 490 points and only need 1 cap standing on mid and getting wiped. I digress. So we have Absurd versus Orange, and that said, it's a classic. You can watch it back now. The meta isn't the same and all that stuff, but that shit was still a classic, right? And it also marked a change in the meta. It made a major impact in the meta game because like Shapo was more introduced. Granted, it was already a thing in EU, like always, like EU's ahead of NA, but still, and like the DPS Guardians, Absurd picked up their power necker with that play. Everyone evolved from that play. The meta in EU everywhere got significantly better. Like when Orange came back from World Tournament Series, they were a completely different team. They spiked in terms of performance, and they became much stronger than they were like before, which was really cool. And the games were cool. The problem with that LAN was, of course, the fact that there were really just one competitive to watch game. There was Absurd versus Orange. The other times was there was a second. There was a second NA team, but of course, a second NA team is like that's nothing, right? Like there's Absurd in NA, and then there's just a bunch of people competing for second place, right? Like essentially nothing. But now, like there's a European team, and European team has always been like just as consistent. I mean, us and Orange go back and forth all the time and all that stuff, you know. Unlike the current state of NA, where it's just Absurd 550ing everyone. So we and then we also had China, and China still hadn't quite caught up yet. But notice that China still had a competitive game versus the Dankening, right? The second NA team, which shows that China improved exponentially from before. And then you have the current WTS. We have two European teams that are just ridiculously dominant. Like both of them can be absurd, right? And you have these two teams that constantly clash and do really great matches for you guys. And then you have China, and they finally have they have a ton of time. And you guys might not know about this, but the Chinese team that went to World Tournament Series last time, it wasn't the best team. It was the second placing team that got smashed. However, the first placing team couldn't go because of ineligibility issues, whatever the fuck that word is. You know what I'm talking about. So you had that shit, right? You had you had the second best Chinese team doing quite well versus the Dankening, and you can tell how big the difference between a best and second best team can be if you take, for example, the NA scene, right? So this is a strong team, and they've actually improved upon their roster since then. They've been doing extremely well, and now they got to qualify properly, and they're going. So it's a real, the China threat might be real, you know. We got the best of NA, obviously same as before. We got orange logo, and we got us. Do you guys realize how fucking awesome that is? We seriously have, we have us, and we have three teams. Like, the competition for second place is going to be extreme. Like, after we take first place, you have all these people competing for second place, and it's going to be incredible. The matches can be, amazing too. I'm looking forward to it. Who knows? China might take second place. Absurd, orange, it's all about who gets second and third place, and I'm looking forward to looking at that shit. It'll be fucking awesome. So this World Tournament Series, it's the final one of the year. It has 4 fucking awesome teams, and are really, aside from first place being obvious for takers, there's you don't know who's gonna win second place. So and that's fucking awesome, right? So it's in August. It's in Gamescom. I don't fucking know which date, but it's during Gamescom, and you guys can probably find that easily. Maybe 8th, I don't know. So make sure you check that out. This shit, don't fucking miss it, because even if you enjoy the Boston set, that shit's nothing compared to what's gonna happen. We're gonna have real fucking sets happening. And I'm fucking looking forward to that shit. I mean, partially because of winning the fucking, first place prize money, and partly for just watching those fucking awesome games. So let's enjoy that shit, right? Let's keep playing the game now. I've taken enough of your time.